Have you ever asked yourself this? Why is it that most people never really get rich? It's not because people don't work hard. We wake up early, commute, grind at work, pull overtime, all of that. But no matter how hard we work, our bank balance doesn't seem to grow. Money comes in, but it disappears just as fast. Saving feels impossible. Investing? Forget about it. A lot of people end up saying, that's just how it is for normal people, but is it really? Here's the truth I want to share. Most people stay broke, not because they're dumb, but because they fall into three traps: the psychological trap, the environmental trap, and the knowledge trap. If you don't notice them, you'll just keep spinning in place. But if you break out, your whole trajectory can change. Our biggest weakness as humans? We hate slow. You're tired, so you swipe your card for some retail therapy. Weekend stress, go out, spend, have fun. That kind of happiness is instant. But investing? Put money into an S&P 500 ETF, and you might not see real results for 5 to 10 years. Which one feels more attractive? Obviously, the quick hit. The bigger problem: people don't want to get rich slowly. They want to flip their life overnight. That mindset leads to three common disasters: falling for get-rich-quick scams, going all in with leverage and blowing up the account, chasing highs and panic selling lows. The result isn't fast money, it's fast losses. That's the first trap. The faster you try to go, the slower you actually get. Even if you're disciplined and save, the environment still works against you. Why? Because inflation runs about 2 to 3% every year, which means almost everything gets more expensive over time. Rent goes up, health insurance goes up, groceries, gas, a cup of coffee, all more expensive than before. Sure, maybe your paycheck went up a little, but the cost of living keeps climbing too. That's why so many people feel like they can never save real money. Whatever you manage to put away gets quietly eaten by inflation. That's the second trap. Your salary inches up, but prices sprint ahead. Here's the biggest blind spot. People don't know the difference between an asset and a liability. It's actually simple. An asset goes up in value, or it puts money in your pocket. A liability doesn't grow, doesn't pay you, and usually drags you down. It's a financial burden. Assets are long-term growth stocks, broad market ETFs, dividend-paying investments. Liabilities are high-interest credit card debt, luxury splurges, stuff that loses value the second you buy it. Assets feed you, liabilities eat you alive. The difference is whether your money is buying you a future or just an illusion. The sad part? Most people funnel their money into liabilities, thinking they're treating themselves. 10 years later, one group has a portfolio of assets, while the other has a pile of credit card bills and old junk. That's the third trap. Money flows into liabilities instead of assets. A lot of people are terrified of debt, and I get it. Credit card interest is brutal. Student loans feel crushing. And most folks misunderstand leverage. So the default mindset is, I'd rather save slowly than owe anybody. But here's the problem. Saving slowly often means you miss the best window to build wealth. Think about it. If you can borrow money at 6% interest and put it into something that earns 8 to 10% on average, that gap is you buying time with other people's money. The key is this: only if you can pay it back. If you don't have the cash flow, debt is a noose. If you do, debt becomes a rocket booster. That's the fourth trap. Fear of debt is fear of time. The good news? You don't need a genius investing strategy. All you need are 3 principles. The biggest mistake people make is spend first, save what's left. There's usually nothing left. The right move is save first, spend later. The moment your paycheck hits, automatically move at least 20% into your investment account. And that's just the floor. 30%, 40%, even better. You only spend what's left. This isn't about willpower. It's about setting up a system. That one move separates people who build wealth from people who don't. Saving is just the beginning. The next step is putting money in the right place. Don't dump it into liabilities. The new luxury toy, the credit card financed gadget, the flashy purchase, none of it makes you richer. Instead, focus on assets. Growth stocks with long-term upward trends. Index funds and ETFs for simple, diversified growth. Dividend stocks or dividend ETFs that throw off steady cash flow. Side hustles or digital assets that generate ongoing income. The rule is simple. Put your money where it grows or pays you, not where it drains you. Finally, debt. Real financial wisdom isn't no debt ever. It's knowing the difference between good and bad debt. Bad debt, high-interest credit cards funding liabilities. Good debt, low-interest borrowing that fuels higher return investments. It all comes down to time. Low-interest debt lets you own assets now instead of waiting 10 years to save up. If you can borrow at 6% and earn 8 to 10%, that spread is your time advantage. If you can't cover the payments, it's a disaster. But if you can, it's an accelerator. That's why wealthy people don't really fear debt. What they fear is wasted time, because money can be made again, but time never comes back. So why do most people never get rich? Because they chase quick wins, get crushed by inflation, spend on liabilities, and avoid debt, which means they avoid time. And why do a smaller group actually build wealth? Because they flip those habits around. They pay themselves first, at least 20% more if possible. They put their money into assets, not liabilities. They use smart debt to buy time, borrowing low to invest higher. Wealth isn't magic, and it isn't luck. It's a set of choices. The choice to let your money work for you. The choice to buy assets, not illusions. The choice to value time more than fear. Make those choices consistently, and you don't just avoid the traps, you rewrite your financial future.